Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here is the rise and fall of Osama bin Laden. Prologue. In the quiet, sun-baked streets of Riyadh in the late 1950s, a child was born into one of Saudi Arabia's wealthiest families. Osama bin Muhammad bin Awad bin Laden, born in 1957, would come to shape the geopolitical landscape of the 21st century in a way few could have imagined. His story is one of religious extremism, radicalization, and global terror. From a privileged upbringing to the mastermind behind the most devastating terrorist attack on American soil, and ultimately to a fugitive hunted by the world's most powerful military. This is the full account of Osama bin Laden's rise and fall. Osama bin Laden was born the 17th of 52 children to Mohammed bin Awad bin Laden, a Yemeni immigrant who founded the Saudi bin Laden Group, a construction empire that made billions building mosques, palaces, and infrastructure for the Saudi monarchy. Osama's early life was one of opulence and religious conservatism, influenced by the austere Wahhabi interpretation of Islam, dominant in Saudi Arabia. He attended the elite Al-Fajr Model School in Jeddah and later studied economics and business administration at King Abdulaziz University. There, he came under the influence of radical Islamic thinkers, including the Palestinian scholar Abdullah Azzam, whose ideology would shape bin Laden's worldview. The Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1979 marked a turning point. Bin Laden joined the Afghan resistance, or Mujahideen, supported by the U.S., Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan. He provided not only financial support, but also participated on the battlefield. He established Maktab al-Khidmat MAK, an organization to recruit and fund fighters alongside Azzam. The war radicalized bin Laden. He saw the Soviet retreat in 1989 as proof of Islam's superiority and the power of jihad. He began to view the United States, with its military presence in the Middle East and support for Israel, as the next great enemy. Birth of al-Qaeda. In 1988, bin Laden founded al-Qaeda, or the Base, a militant Sunni Islamist organization designed to wage global jihad. When Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990, bin Laden offered to defend Saudi Arabia with his Mujahideen. The Saudi monarchy declined and welcomed U.S. troops instead. This deeply angered bin Laden, who viewed non-Muslim soldiers on Holy Land as a desecration. He began to openly criticize the Saudi government and was exiled to Sudan in 1991. There, he established training camps and businesses to fund operations. Al-Qaeda carried out its first attacks in the early 1990s, targeting U.S. troops in Somalia and embassies in Africa. Sudan became bin Laden's base until 1996, when international pressure forced the Sudanese government to expel him. He returned to Afghanistan, where the Taliban had seized control. They offered bin Laden sanctuary in exchange for financial and logistical support. In Afghanistan, al-Qaeda flourished. Training camps churned out thousands of jihadists, and bin Laden solidified his alliance with Taliban leader Mullah Omar. In 1996 and 1998, bin Laden issued fatwas declaring war on the United States, stating that it was a religious duty for Muslims to kill Americans. Al-Qaeda began planning what would become the most significant terrorist attack in history, September 11, 2001. Over years of preparation, 19 hijackers were selected and trained. On the morning of 9/11, they commandeered 4 commercial airliners. 2 struck the World Trade Center towers in New York, 1 hit the Pentagon, and another crashed in Pennsylvania after passengers intervened. Nearly 3,000 people died. The world was stunned. In the chaos and grief, President George W. Bush declared a global war on terror. The United States demanded the Taliban hand over bin Laden. When they refused, the U.S. invaded Afghanistan. The hunt, bin Laden fled into the mountains of Tora Bora, evading capture despite intense bombardment and special forces operations. He disappeared for years, rumored to be hiding along the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. Meanwhile, al-Qaeda franchises emerged in Iraq, Yemen, North Africa, and elsewhere, spreading his ideology. The U.S. established a vast intelligence apparatus to track him. The CIA, NSA, and military intelligence coordinated operations globally. detainees at Guantanamo, and secret prisons were interrogated. Slowly, a trail began to form. In 2010, U.S. intelligence traced a trusted courier to a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. The high-walled mansion lacked internet and phone lines and was suspiciously secluded. After months of surveillance, President Barack Obama authorized Operation Neptune Spear. On May 2nd, 2011 local time, Navy SEAL Team 6 raided the compound. In a brief firefight, Osama bin Laden was killed. His body was identified, photographed, and buried at sea. The news was announced by President Obama, bringing a symbolic end to a decade-long manhunt. Bin Laden's death was a significant victory for the U.S., but al-Qaeda did not die with him. The network splintered, and groups like ISIS rose, adopting and adapting his ideology. Bin Laden's writings, recovered from Abbottabad, revealed a man increasingly isolated and concerned about al-Qaeda's direction. In his final years, he worried about the group's indiscriminate violence and the alienation of Muslims. His influence waned, but the seeds he planted endured. The world he left behind remained scarred by the terrorism he helped inspire. Epilogue, a cautionary tale. Osama bin Laden's journey from wealthy heir to the world's most wanted man underscores the dangers of radical ideology, the volatility of global politics, and the enduring consequences of war. His life and death reshaped the modern world, changing how nations wage war, how security is maintained, and how extremism is countered. His story is not just history, it is a warning. Please don't forget to subscribe to your YouTube channel for more stories.